All right, so we're going to start off by reviewing last week, adding and subtracting square roots. So the first one we have here is the square root of 175 minus the square root of 7. In order to subtract these two square roots, we first have to simplify them. So I have to sit there and think, what two numbers or what two factors can I use for 175? Say it again. 7 and 25. 7 is prime. I'm going to circle it. Factors of 25. Okay. Circle them. So then I go to the square root of 7. Can I simplify the square root of 7?
No.
No, it's already in simplest form. So then I'm going to drop down, put my equal sign, my square root sign. I'm going to put my prime numbers under my square root sign. Now when I go to rewrite the square root of 7, I have to make sure I still include that square root sign. Some people forgot to do that last week and left the square root sign off, which would then change your answer. Once I have my prime numbers written under my square root sign, what do I do? Darius?
Circle the pairs.
Yeah, circle my pairs. Then I drop down. What happens with my pairs? And become the
Coefficient.
So I have 5 square root 7 minus what? Minus the square root of 7, right? So from here, I have 5 square root of 7 minus the square root of 7. Are my radicans the same? Yes, making them like terms. So since they're like terms, I'm going to go ahead and simplify the coefficients. But the square root of 7 does not have a coefficient. So what do I have to either put up there or imagine that's there? 1. So then I would take 5 minus 1 and get 4. Then what? Square root 7, because our radican does not change. How many of you guys got that? How many of you guys put 5 square root 7? Because you forgot to put that 1 up in there. Okay. All right, let's look at the back. This problem's a little bit longer, but we're going to follow the exact same steps. So the first thing I need to go through is simplify each individual square root. So what are two factors of 400, Rihanna?
20.
Okay, keep going.
Then 5 and 4.
Okay.
4 and 5.
Well, how about let's do our 4 first.
Oh, wait. 2.
And,
2.
okay, now let's do our other 20.
4 and 5.
Let's say I don't want you to use those factors. What other factors could you use?
10.
And, yeah. 2 is prime. Okay, what are your factors of 10?
5 and 2.
All right, for 125?
5 and 25. And then for 25, 5 and 5.
And then I'm going to circle all of my 5s because they're prime. Okay, for 5.
Just 5.
Or just 5.
And then for 4.
2 and 2.
All right.
But you circle the 5.
What's say?
But you said circle the 5.
You don't have to. You can. All right, now I'm going to come down. Under my first square root sign, what am I going to write here? How many 2s am I going to end up with?
4 2s.
Okay,
And 2 5s.
and 2 5s. So it is a perfect square. Nice job. Way to identify it. Then I'm going to bring down what operation sign?
Plus.
Plus square root. What do I put up under my square root?
5 3 times.
Okay. Then my operation sign?
Negative
Square root of
5.
operation sign.
Subtraction.
Oops. And what do I put on my square root?
2 times 2.
Which will be a,
Perfect square.
all right. Gonna go through, circle our pairs. And now we're gonna rewrite. Okay, Darius and Rihanna, you cannot answer this part. My first, the square root of 400, what is that going to be simplified to? The square root of 400 in simplest form will equal what? Say it again. 20, good. So I have my pair of 2s that are going to cancel. So basically every factor pair cancels with the square root sign and moves to the outside as a coefficient. So I'm going to end up with a 2 times 2 times 5 to get my coefficient. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. I bring down my addition sign. The square root of 125 simplified will equal what?
5. Square root of 5.
Perfect. Bring down my subtraction sign, and I bring down the square root of 5. Bring down my subtraction sign. The square root of 4 ends up being just a whole number 2. Right, now I'm ready to simplify. So I can only combine like terms. I always want to combine like terms going from least to greatest because that's the order that I'm going to write my answer in. So what is going to be my term with the smallest radican? Which one do I want to start with? Hold that thought. So we're going to go ahead and simplify in order from least to greatest. So what's my smallest? What are my smallest terms up there? 20 and 2. So go ahead and combine those like terms. So what's 20 and 2? What operation am I going to do? Yeah, so 20 minus 2 equals, okay. Then what are my next like terms? Square root 5 and minus square root 5. So what's 5 square root 5 minus square root 5? Okay. And what operation sign do I put in front of it? A plus, because it's a positive. And that's your final answer.